Hello and good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to MSM and CapU eSummit 2020 Live. Thank you for connecting with us today. You're here with MSM and CapU team, and we will ensure that this session will certainly add value to your knowledge and experience for Capilano University. This session will be taken by none other than our Director International, Chris, and Yogan Mistry, International Student Admission and Recruitment. Before we start, we would like to take you through the basic feature of Zoom webinar. Please note that this is a webinar and your mics and cameras will be inactive during the session. If you have any questions related to Capilano University, please put up in the Q&A section. For any technical questions, you can put it in the chat box. So I will not take much of your time. Now I'm handing over to Chris and you're going to take you through Capilano's presentation.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dakshita, for that introduction, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. I said good morning, but I think it's good evening. So, right here in Vancouver, in Canada, it's a little drizzly outside, actually, but nevertheless a nice morning, and but it's fairly early. But it's a real pleasure to be with you. We want to. First of all, wish you all the best. We hope that in your current situations that you are safe and well. We're certainly all under a lot of challenge with the COVID-19 situation, and we're keeping certainly aware of everything that's happening in India. We know that it's not an easy time, and there's been locked down for a long time, and also that the conditions are still on the rise in terms of cases in India. So we just wish you all the best. We hope you, your families, are all safe and well, and managing in these challenging times. Here in Canada, in British Columbia, things are going quite well, actually. We have, as they say, flattened the curve, and things are opening up a lot more in terms of businesses and social activities and things like that. And in fact, we are right now, we're going through new phases of trying to ensure that everybody can get back to their sort of more usual ways of life. But of course, with all these changes that we have to deal with. So with that said, I just hope everything's well for you, and let's get on with our session today. And we look forward to sharing about Capilano University and what we're doing here. We have first of all, we'll have an update about our COVID-19 responses, and then we'll just give you a little brief overview about Capilano University and the programs and the application admissions issues, a bit about our residents, about having students for planning and registration, and a little bit about preparedness, just a little bit about the conditions that we think lead to success for students when they come here at Capilano, a little bit about deadlines and who to contact. So I hope that's of interest to you. We'll get straight into it. In the past, we have, I bet this is me here actually. In the past, I've come to India many times actually to visit with the incoming students, and that's one of our intakes. There was a few semesters ago now. We had, I think, nearly 500 people in the room there, with, probably about 350. I don't want to overdo it, but about 350 people in that room, and most of the students that were coming to Canada for the program are in the room. And what I did was I do a pre-departure session, and I share with the incoming students what they're likely to expect, how to be successful in living and learning at Capilano and in Canada. And we get to meet the parents and agents, and it's really a great session, actually. I love it, and I know the students do as well, and families, and we try our best to put everybody at ease about what they're coming into and help them be successful when they come to Capilano. So that's what normally happens. So of course, right now we're juggling things a fair bit, and it's all changed. And so what our campus normally is like is with a very active campus, as you can see from this photo here. People outside mingling and so on. And this happens to be a International Orientation Day where we have food trucks there with people coming in and celebrating. And those people in the blue shirts are our mentors. I'll talk about them a little bit more in a few moments. And you know, it's a great day of celebration, and we do other celebrations. You'll recognize this, of course, and it's the Holy celebration, and it's great fun. But we've just had to adapt a little bit. We certainly, like you, we hope this is just temporary and we can get back to our usual antics. The Holy celebration is just a really great day, but we had to move it a few times because every time we do it, the grass gets completely destroyed underneath. But anyway, it's good fun. And as you can see, we've now moved to a new approach, and we're all learning quickly how to do online learning. Now, Capilano has not really done a lot of online learning in the past, some programs, but it was always in our plans and our strategy to become an online learning institution. And so we're doing it very, very quickly. We're learning very, very quickly. And it's a good thing because it's really what the students want. And so our programs have shifted quickly. We've put enormous resources into doing exceptional learning for online learning. But of course, it does change things quite a bit. And now we are having to, reapproach our methods of learning and how we're actually able to transition. So with that in mind, I want to share with you a few of the updates regarding COVID-19 for the university. So the best way to get information about our updates is on our website, and we have a site there called, this is just the front page of the website. And as you'll see, it says Discover CapU, it's the Discover CapU opening page. And as you can see, it says COVID-19 and Capilano University's response. So you just need to click on that, and it will take you to the page, which actually is about international students. So you have to go to CapU COVID-19, and then you click on students. Now, what it will do is it gives you information about the overall activities at the university. And then the things that you're probably mostly interested in are on this segment here, which is called Newly Admitted International Students for 2020-2021. So we have a lot of questions which we believe answer most things, and that's things like, are programs and classes going ahead in the fall? I've been accepted into a program. Can I begin from outside of my country? I want to start the fall semester from my home country. What do I need to consider about taking courses online from outside of Canada? I have a study permit. Can I travel to Canada? I need to provide biometrics. What should I do? Can I defer or withdraw my program scheduled to begin in the fall 2020? What's the answer there? I want to register for my fall courses. What will courses be available? Is there still going to be a new international student orientation? Am I required to self-isolate upon my arrival to Canada? So that's a selection of the questions that students often have for us. So I'll just go into a couple of the answers here. Let's take the first one, or one of the first ones. I've been accepted into a program in the fall semester. Can I begin courses from outside of my country? Well, there's two things that you need to think about here. One is, there's actually three things, but the first thing is, what is the government of Canada's position on this? And therefore, what is the IRCC position, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada? What is their recommendation? Well, they keep giving us updates. And the most recent update is that and it relates to the postgraduate work permit, because we know that many students really want to get the postgraduate work permit when they're done their studies, right? So that's the first thing. what does the government say about starting the course or the program outside of the country? And they have said that for the fall semester, this was for the summer semester as well, and for the fall semester, that yes, you can start your program outside of the country, but you can only do 50% of the program outside of the country. Now, for a 2-year program, this should work out. In other words, the student will begin 50% of their courses, half of their courses, up to half of the courses of their 2-year program over the next year outside of Canada. That's a possibility. And then by the time COVID restrictions relax and they can get their study permits, they can come to Canada and complete the second half of their program, and then they will still be eligible for their postgraduate work permit. In other words, they can do a year outside of Canada and a year in Canada, and they still get their PGWP. It's a little trickier for a 1-year program, because the 1-year program at this point, it says you can only finish half of it. And so we don't know if students are going to be able to come in the second half. So for example, in the spring semester. So for a 2-year program at this point, it's okay. For a 1-year program, it's a bit tricky with this approach. However, it doesn't mean that we can't defer the student until they can come and finish. It just means that that's the rules from IRCC. The second component is the university's answer to this. And the university gets the right to say how much residency is required at their institution. Now, in our case, we require that 50% of the program is conducted by Capilano University or at Capilano University. That's kind of the understanding. But we're looking into that right now. And so we are trying to accommodate all circumstances. And what we're doing is that you can start outside of the country up to half your course, but you'll have to come here to complete your second half. We're looking into what we can do about that right now, and we'll keep you updated if there's a change to that. The third thing is, can they actually get here? And of course, that's another issue, and that relates to whether they have a study permit to actually come into the country, if they can get a flight into the country. Now, the government of Canada has said that that's okay. They can do this. They can come to the country if they got their study permit before, I think it's March the 14th. Is that right, Jürgen? It was really relating to the summer semester. Now, all the universities are asking the question right now, does that still apply? So we're trying to find clarity on that, of whether or not it has to be way back to March, because of course the fall students aren't going to have that study permit, that letter back as early as March. Of course, the next complication is, can they get a study permit? And we all know that things are not moving that quickly with the study visa approvals right now. So what's the solution to all of this? The solution is, we try to get the students started. We try to get them started online. We keep mindful of how long the program is, so that they can complete it and that they can come here and complete that second half of the program. And we're looking into other possibilities. That means that, you know, we can accommodate it from a university standpoint, but they won't be able to get their postgraduate work permit. That's a third issue that we're looking at. So we'll keep you updated on that. So we're trying to get students started. They can apply, we can accept them, they'll meet our admission requirements. The issue is about, can they actually come here and complete the program? So we do want you to know, if they start now, they do run the risk that they could potentially not be able to complete the program until they come here. But we're doing what we can to try and accommodate that. Does that sound okay? Hope that makes sense. It's a lot of information, but it's really important stuff. So that's the first thing about, can I actually begin from outside of the country? The second question is, how are we delivering? So a lot of universities have said for the fall semester, they're just going to do online. We have said that we're trying to do something we're calling adapted modes of delivery. And so we're trying to do an adapted approach. What this means is the vast majority of our courses will be online. We are looking right now to be able to accept students onto the campus as soon as we can. This requires that we go into every single classroom and figure out exactly how we could accommodate students safely in the classroom. It involves us looking at the hallways, looking at the parking area, looking at the food services and all those elements to see exactly how we could accommodate students on campus safely with the right kind of physical distancing. It's not entirely up to us, but the government will determine whether or not we can start to accept students onto the campus or not. And right now, we cannot. However, we are doing the work to see when we can do that. Now, so the question would be for an international student, hang on a minute, I can do some of my courses online and some of them are adapted. Well, we will accommodate that. We'll figure out how they can do their courses online, but we are trying to find a way of getting students here to the campus as soon as possible. We are well aware that the vast majority of students want to be on campus and they will defer until they can be on campus. We're looking at how we can accomplish this, but it's not entirely up to us. So we're doing the work that we can of looking at how we can get students safely onto the campus. Okay, so that's the next question. The vast majority is online in the fall. We're looking to see if we can do some classes, but if you've got an international student, we'll work out how to accommodate that international student so they can do their array of courses online outside of the country to get started appropriately. So the other question that comes up is around English proficiency. And our situation right now is that it is for the SDS stream, students have to have IELTS. And of course, many of the IELTS testing centers are still closed. We are accepting Duolingo. But we know that if they accept Duolingo, if a student does the Duolingo test, then they will not be able to apply for the SDS stream. I think it's 110. We've got this on the site, so if you could just check on the site, but I think it's 110 is our minimum, which is equivalent to the 6.5 IELTS. That's for most programs. We've got some programs which allow lower, the post-baccalaureates in Tourism Management International, for example, which we'll talk about later. But we are accepting Duolingo, and we are also accepting the online versions of IELTS and TOEFL. However, we know that those don't work for SDS. So we're we're in a bit of a challenging position right now. But we can accept the application there and do the accept, but it is difficult to get that visa. So that's a tricky issue that we're all dealing with right now. We're doing what we can. All the institutions know this, and we're all trying to figure out how to get past this small challenge, big challenge. So where we get our information, like directly to the Government Canada, and if you go here, you can actually see yourself. How's the corona disease affecting immigration, refugee citizenship, etc., etc. And all you need to do is click on workers, students, and visitors. And sorry, I'm just going to skip past these slides. I didn't delete those out. Oh, I'll go back a sec. Excuse me, 1 second. I just want to go back one slide here. Okay, so back to this one. So we go to the website, and we get informed directly from the website. We are constantly in contact with all our peer institutions. We meet actually regularly, all the heads of international, to discuss these issues. We check with BCCIE and CICAN and our different associations. So we're as current as we can be. And anything that we learn, we put on our FAQ sites straight away. Our specialist, our communication specialist, Carly Fitzpatrick, is constantly talking to me about what we should update. So we just want you to know that the FAQ sites is still the best place to go for that information. Okay, I hope that answers everybody's questions, main questions. We can come back at the end to further questions about COVID and our responses, and we can hopefully, or we can certainly follow up with answers to your questions as well. So I'm really interested. I wonder how many people have actually been to Capilano University. I don't know if we can test that with our current system today, but if you've been here, I hope that you've enjoyed your experience. And if you have not been here, then I look forward to one day welcoming you here. I'm wondering if you've been to Vancouver. I hope if you have not, obviously you get that opportunity as well. It's a lovely place. We'll talk a bit more about it in a minute here. So why Capilano University? Why do we think students would like to come here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to share a video clip with you. Now, I hope this works on your system. I've got a few videos today. There may be a short lag between the speech, but it'll only be a little bit. And they're all only very short videos, but it gives you a little bit of a nicer sense than just listening to me chat away about what the campus is and what we're like. Now, we've just gone into a new process called Envisioning 2030. And what we're doing here is we're trying to make sure that we are a very progressive university, which we believe we are, but we're doing even more work on that. And we're trying to set ourselves up for the future. Now, there's a couple of really important themes that are coming out of the Envisioning 2030 of what we stand for, what we want to be known for, and how we're going to be distinctive in the future. The important things that we want to share with you are that we're working on a couple of important themes. One is health and well-being. We want students to leave our university healthier and better off than when they came in. For many students, when the time they leave university, they've got debt, they've lost, or they've put on weight, or they've lost weight, one or the other. They're exhausted, and you know, they come out of university, certainly after the first couple of years, completely stressed. That's not what we want. We want students to come here and grow and be stronger and fitter and healthier as students in our institution. So health and wellness is one of our first priorities. It's a centerpiece of what we want to be known for. We also want to be known for as an imaginative university, one that allows individual students' creative spirit to grow and to capture that. We have a lot of programming which already captures this imaginative theme, and we're going to work on even more and more on that. We're going to tell you a bit more about that shortly. So let's take a look at a short video, and this is just going to give you some insight to what this vision is all about.
Imagine multiple campuses, a connected community with a single purpose, embracing curiosity and imagination. Imagine cultivating life-enhancing learning experiences in diverse and inclusive environments. Imagine discovering the transformative power of imagination that will inspire our actions for years to come. Imagine embracing values of innovation, collaboration, transparency, honesty, health and well-being, reflective practice, sustainable actions, and a commitment to truth and reconciliation and decolonization, indigenization. Imagine the synergy between imagination and a boundless engagement with our communities in order to build a distinct university experience for our students, faculty, and employees. Imagine, where will you be in 2030?
Okay, I hope the volume came through for you there. I'm going to check in with Yogan. Yogan, you're watching. Did that work in terms of volume, Yogan?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Okay, I hope it worked for everybody. We've got a few more video clips we want to share with you. We think it's a good way of just giving a good insight to what we're about. The next one is about the students that come to our university, and I think this is the best way for you to learn, to know something about our institution, is what the students say about it. So let's hear in a word or two what our international students, principally our international students, think about Capilano University. This is Gabriel right here.
Hi, I'm Gabriel, and I'm from Brazil.
And I'm from India.
Vietnam.
From Mexico.
Taiwan. China.
North Van.
From Korea.
Colombia. CapU for me means opportunities, fun and friendship.
改变
Community.
My job, getting an Oscar.
multicultural
CapU means communities to me.
A building step for my future.
짠 다양한 색깔의 힘
Chifa. Capilano University means diversity for me.
Explore.
Opportunité.
fun and frolic
Compromiso.
đó là phút quan hệ
New experiences. Felicidad.
Learning with fun.
của nhau is having crazy
Okay, hopefully we're not too crazy, but that's what we're about. Now, I honestly think one of the things that we have as our greatest asset, not only the university and what we do, how we run things, but it's frankly, we live in a pretty darn nice place. As you know, this is Vancouver. This might be the photo that we have in our next year's International Student Guide. We were just discussing this a few days ago, and we wanted an image that captured who we are as an institution. And if you look at this image, you can see the mountains in the background there. And there's this nice snow on the mountains. It's an early morning picture, so no, it's an evening picture actually. So you know, it's a bit dark, but the idea here is that we are a university that sits on the interface of wilderness and a world-class city. So let's take a closer look here. This is, we're actually located, I'll see my little arrow, we're located right there. So if you walk out the back door of our university, you're in forested wilderness for miles and miles and miles. So we're pretty lucky. We live in this world-class location, and we are on the edge of forest and wilderness. That's why the whole health and well-being notion works well for us. And we live on the edge of this world-class city. So the students get to have a pretty special experience. Now I'm going to introduce you to Yogan, and I should have done that at the beginning, but now we'll go over to Yogan. Yogan works with me in the international office, and he actually works directly with all of you as agents. He oversees the commissions and the contracts, and so this is the guy that you'll be connecting with through our M Square office in India, through Rishma and Dakshita. So we all work closely together, and I'm now going to introduce you to Yogan. Yogan, would you mind introducing yourself? And then Yogan, would you mind telling me what it's like, telling everybody what it's like living here in Vancouver?
Sure. Thank you so much, Chris. Hi, guys. My name is Yogan. I work at Capilano University as an international student, admission and recruitment assistant. And I'm originally from Bombay, and I moved to Vancouver a few years ago. And I actually went to Capilano University as a student myself. It's a great university. And I've been working at Cap for almost 2 years now. What I can say about Vancouver is it's a really beautiful city. And as Chris mentioned, we have these beautiful mountains and oceans and a beautiful city. But I want to mention something that I personally thought was something that struck out for me, was that it's a really safe place, and it's multicultural environment, and the people here are so nice. Students almost fall in love when they come to Vancouver, and they don't want to leave. They don't want to go to any other city and just stay here, because it is so convenient. The transit system we have, as students, you can travel anywhere in the city, and it's absolutely free. So that's something, one of the things that I really enjoyed as a student myself, was just exploring the city, go to different parks, go to mountains, There's a lot of hiking, a lot of skiing, a lot of water activities that you can enjoy. So overall, it's a really nice place to live. We are very lucky.
Yeah, thanks, Jürgen. We are very fortunate, and we know that the students love being here. And hopefully, you might have visited or want to come at some point in the future, and will enjoy the wilderness and the world-class city experience. I mentioned earlier that we were looking for a new cover photo for our international study guide. This might be it. And we were having a conversation about what would capture that notion well. And actually, this is my dentist's office, at the window of my dentist's office. And I said, you know, my dentist, he's a really good photographer. So he sent us these photos. And so anyway, when I'm getting my teeth fixed, this is the view. It's not bad, eh? So here's another photo he sent us, and this just gives you another illustration of, you know, it's a very interesting dynamic. The weather is weird here. It can be pretty rainy. It can be, but it can also be beautifully sunny. And so people, you know, it's a good place to be. It's a refreshing place to live. Okay, so Capilano University is just celebrating its 50th birthday last year, actually. This is what we were like years ago. We were, this is a photo of our first class in a basement of a church, actually. And as you can see, the students, it's just 51 years ago now. Students 51 years ago, they were like long hair, and some of their beards, and you know, and bell-bottom pants. And anyway, that was 50 years ago, and this is this year, and so things haven't really changed that much. Still long hair and beards, but anyway, it's and that's actually, we kind of like that. The place still retains its spirit of being a casual but a hard-working environment. We are a member of the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities. Now, this is quite unique in Canada. Something that everybody asks, well, what's the ranking of the institution? Capilano University has not pursued ranking because we are not a research institution, and so much of the ranking is based on research. Our emphasis is on teaching. Now, we are putting greater emphasis on research in the future, but it has not been something that we do with high focus as do other institutions, and that's the typical way of evaluating ranking. So what we did, and this is very important, we became a member of NWCCU, and that is one of the Americans, 5 American commissions. They're regional commissions, so they're 5 located around the country. And we chose to become a member of the one which is closest to us in the northwest of the USA. And so what this means is that we had to make sure that all of our programming aligned with our mission, and that we had to do a lot of evaluation and assessment of all our programming so that we maintain high quality standards, and that every single thing that we do contributes to fulfilling our mission as a university. Not many institutions have this in Canada. Certainly not in British Columbia. There's only, I think, 3 now that have that in British Columbia. We were the first to do this in British Columbia. So we have a very strong reporting schedule, and we're going through one of them right now. We're doing the 7-year mission fulfillment report right now, actually. It's due in a couple of months, I should say. And then we do another evaluation next year. We do a mid-cycle evaluation, 2023. We do a 7-year mission. We do this every year, 7 years, we do these re-evaluations. So it's quite onerous. And I was involved in a lot of the early work on this. And so it was a big job for us as an institution. We're quite proud of it. Of course, the result is that we get all these great students coming and enjoying quality programming and a quality experience. So a little bit about what we are. And these are really the themes that in our Envisioning 2030, they're things, many of them we're carrying forward, that we've always done. There's a few new ones here. So we are teaching focused. we like the interactive classrooms. We certainly did, and we'll do it again as soon as we can. This is the typical student experience. We like them to get together, to learn with each other. We have a high level of interactivity. We're a creative institution, and this is very important to us, this whole notion of imagination and enabling individuals to imagine, to be creative. This is one of our image from our performing arts programs. We do concerts and we do performances. This is our IDEA program, a visual communications program. We have choirs. We have very good choirs. We have very good jazz programming. Our film and animation programs are world-renowned. We have one of the best film programs in Canada, and the facility is extraordinary. It's the BOSA Centre, which is a $36 million world-class film production centre. Students are regularly always around the campus doing filming. The notion of being an engaged learning university is important, and this speaks to the relationship that the faculty members here have with the students. These are a couple of students from, I think from China and Taiwan, I think. I had that before. But there's a good example of, very high level of interactivity. This is our faculty members. They constantly meet to enhance their learning capacities and skills. This is if we go back one step here, this is a guy named Roy Jansen. I always like to pick out to feature Roy. He's a very creative teacher. Here he is. That's him right there. And he's actually out in the forest there at a place called Rice Lake, not too far from the campus. And that's what the lake is like in the summer. This is the winter, and he talks about the ecological system. So as you can see, they're all wearing woolly hats. It's pretty chilly there at the moment. So that's a good example of the type of teaching experiences. The notion of well-being is critically important to us. We're very focused on this. We've signed on to something called the Okanagan Charter, which is an international charter for health promoting universities and colleges. We're putting a great deal of emphasis on that. We want our students to be happy, healthy, engaged, communicating. We have sports and athletics activities that we do. We do these community events. Food, of course, is very important to these types of events. Things along those lines, which really try to put great emphasis on students feeling connected and a strong sense of well-being. We also have very deep Indigenous connection to our First Nations, and we operate on traditional territories of the First Nation people, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Leewat, Musqueam, and Sechelt nations. And so we have this very strong connection. This is Ernie. He comes in, and you can go and sit with Ernie every Thursday, and he shares his wisdom. He's quite a remarkable person. This is a canoe that we made for our 50th anniversary, and that's being blessed by the elders. And so just things like that keep us a part of our community connections, along with different activities and events that we have. This is an international day where students came and shared about their countries and what they know, and just made sure everybody felt part of that international, not only just a local community, but an international community, because they're traveling a long way. And this is something we're very mindful of. When your students come to Canada, they travel, and it's a great commitment for them as they come over. And so we recognize that, and we want to make sure that they are that when they come to us, they are looked after. Now, we know that it's not easy. We have an international department. We have mentors. This is one of our mentors, Sagar, and Sagar is from India. And I'm going to show you a very short video clip in a moment here. He's with one of the incoming international students here. And this is a small selection of our team of mentors. These are all students, our current students. And, they're from all countries around the world. And they we pair every incoming student to a mentor so that they have that personal connection, and they look out for them, give them tips on how to live and learn at Capilano. This is, I'm going to show you a short video clip, and this is Cigar and his experience of coming to Capilano University.
I still remember I started crying 3 days before leaving India. That feel you get when the plane takes off, oh my God. Yeah, that was the first time I was going out of my country, leaving my family was the first time. There's an uncle in India. He told me one thing, that Vancouver is the most beautiful place on this earth. But the isolation that came when I had no friends here. I came to Capilano on the very first day on my orientation. I'm just wandering around the campus and looking at faces, don't know where to go. I used to come to Cap, attend my classes and just going back home. But after joining this ILMP program, the mentorship program, it was drastically changed. That was and is a very big thing for me. When I joined the mentorship program, I didn't want any student to feel like how I felt. So what happened was, it was the best mentor team for the year, and CIE got them on order saying proud mentor. That's very precious for me, this Cap. Capilano is everything for me, because coming here to Canada, to a very different country, nobody knows you. And just because of these guys, I got a chance to showcase what I have. Yeah, I am staying in Canada for now. If I wouldn't have joined a mentorship, I would have been just looking for jobs, and now I'm planning to study more in this thing for student advising. Here I created my own name because of what I have done. There's nothing to do with my family. That's kind of heartbreaking for me while leaving Capilano, that I'm kind of leaving my home. Hey guys, I'm Sagar and I'm from India.
So I hope that your video is working on your internet connection. It just gives a little bit more of a flavor of what we're about. So we hope that's working for you. Sagar, just a wonderful person, and he just committed so much to the university, and he committed and contributed so much to us. We were very, very grateful. Now, I want to go a little bit into our programs, and then I want to give you time for some questions. So we'll just highlight a few of our programs, and Yogan's going to help me on this. Every year we send out the International Student Guide, which you probably have seen. It's a little bit like this one, but next year you've got a sneak preview on that, what that cover photo is going to be like. And in the student guide, we have this basic information about what it's like here at CAP, how to prepare to come here, and then you open up the pages and you've got these. I know you won't be able to see this clearly, but I just wanted to show you what you will be looking at. And so you get, this is a list of all the programs, and it identifies the number of years, the costs per year, when it starts, does it have a co-op involved in it or a work integrated experience, and the total price. We also have on this brochure, we have other details, but here's what we think are the course programs that we think probably are the most interesting, are the most ones that the students you will have are most interested in at Capilano. First, there's international business. We'll talk more about this in a minute. Tourism and hospitality. Now, of course, we know the tourism industry is being severely hit at the moment, but it still is a long-term positive career option for many students, and we have strong specialization in tourism hospitality. Our film and animation centers are world-class. Our arts and sciences are what so many of your students are interested in. They want to come and they do an associate degree, which has so many different advantages, but it's just a starting point. It's a stepping stone for them on an academic career. We have specialization in early childhood education. A lot of students do love that program. We have we'll talk a bit more about that in a few moments. We have visual design, communication design, we call it IDEA. And that's a specialized program, a high quality program where, about visual communications. A program you may not be too familiar with is Arts and Entertainment Management. We've got a diploma, a 2-year diploma in Arts and Entertainment Management, which meets the PGWP requirements and gives people individual specialization in managing the arts and entertainment industry. The other one is Human Kinetics. We have a 2-year diploma in Human Kinetics. We have 2 streams in that. And we're currently at the ministry right now is we're waiting for approval on a new Human Kinetics degree or kinesiology degree. It won't be too far away. So that's coming soon. Another area that you may not be that familiar with is outdoor recreation. We've got a long, long history in outdoor recreation. And it might not be the usual career option that people think of, but students that are well suited to living and learning and teaching in the outdoors and running businesses in the outdoors, this is a really strong area for us, and not one that we have a lot of international students come to, but one that might be something to think about, and especially in these COVID-19 times. The yearning and the desire for going into the outdoors and having a career in the outdoors is maybe stronger than it ever has been before. So outdoor recreations is something we wanted to share with you. So Yogan, would you mind just giving us a little brief overview to the humanities, social sciences and sciences areas?
Sure. So we have the Associate of Arts and Associate of Arts in Creative Writing, Psychology, English. These are very popular courses and programs for students from India, especially. These are 2-year programs. These are an associate degree program. So what that means is you do the 2 years here, and then you can complete your bachelor from UBC or SFU or any other university in British Columbia. We also have bachelor program in liberal studies and applied behavior analysis. So
those are the arts, and then science as well.
Yeah, so exactly similar to the arts program, we also have the science program. These are really good stepping stone if students are interested to go into medicine or dentistry or any of those programs. We have an associate degree in chemistry, maths, physics, geography, biology, and we also have engineering diploma and certificates. So again, a great way to start your career. If you are interested in engineering, you can start at CAP and then you can go on and complete your full bachelor degree at any of the other universities.
Thank you. Yes, the whole area of biology we know is of interest because of the streams that the students come through in India. Many of them want to be doctors. We know that's a challenging career path, but the medical career path is one that we know that they have a lot of interest in. So many of them do go to the Associate of Arts in Biology or the Associate of Arts and Sciences. It's a stepping stone, it's this first point of contact really in those fields. But of course it has the advantage that they'll be able to complete a postgraduate work permit, or rather be eligible to apply for postgraduate work permit. So those are those programs. We are adding new majors all the time to our degrees. We will be offering a Bachelor of Science, and we've got the Bachelor of Arts. Jochen said liberal studies, actually very recent news. It's just changed to interdisciplinary studies, and we're building out further majors in arts degrees as well. So we're very active in those program areas. We've got about 25 new programs on the books at the moment right now and at various stages of approval. We also have in our Faculty of Education, Health and Human Development, the areas you might be interested in are early childhood care. We have a few, these are the degrees, and the purple here is the 2-year and the green is the 1-year. But we have a unique program, music therapy, but we've also got early childhood. I'll just show you a short video clip on the early childhood programming that we do. you enjoyed that. It's a strong area for us. We have a learning center on campus, and it's a 4-year program and a 2-year program. Now, we do have a post-baccalaureate, but it's a bit challenging with a post-baccalaureate at the moment because you have to have BC experience to qualify in that post-baccalaureate. But there are other options, so please contact us and contact our office, our Ames Square office, Richmond and Dakshita, about more details about that program area if you're interested. Our motion picture arts is a very strong area. We do not just our film program, but also animation. So Yogan, over to you for these programs.
This is one of the best programs we have. One of the most popular programs, I would say, the motion picture arts program. It's very competitive. We take around 125 students in the first year, and it is a bit of a challenge as you progress in the program. So you have to maintain a GPA, you have to do really well in class to actually go to a bachelor. One of the examples that I want to share with you is our instructors. To name a few, David Brisman, who is a production designer. If you just go on Google and type his name or any of our instructors' name, you would find their work. So they've actually worked in the industry. And to name a few movies that he's worked on, you must have seen Twilight or The Day the Earth Stood Still. These are some of the films that our instructors have worked on. So it's not just that they are teaching, but they're also working in the industry. So they bring a lot of experience to class, and as students you get you to use their references, and they also help you find work. Most of our students are working on set, and Vancouver, as they call it, is the Hollywood of North. Lots of film productions come here, lots of Netflix shows being filmed in Vancouver, in downtown all the time. And great thing about other programs is that they also collaborate with other students. So students were studying in 2D animation, they collaborate with our motion picture art students. So if they are working on a film and they need some animation component in their film, they're always connecting with each other. So the community on campus is really lively, and students get to connect with each other. And even once they finish the program, they continue their relationship, and they take advantage of each other. And most of them have also started some startup companies in Vancouver. So I think one of the really good schools that we have is motion picture arts.
And I will say that most of our schools will say they are also the best, but it is we have a very strong reputation in this area. Yogan is quite correct. Just the 2D and 3D animation, we have 2 intakes every year for each of these. We have visual arts, visual effects as well. So we actually have about 6 intakes in these program areas, and we continue to grow in 2 and 3, particularly 3D animation just continues to grow. We're looking at adding more and more programs there. So there is a capacity and there's strong interest. Just in the interest of time, I won't show the video clip, but there is a video clip here about the 2D animation. In terms of, we have other areas. I talked about arts and entertainment before. The jazz programs are world-class. We talked about the visual design and communication, which is a 4-year program. And we also have preparatory and pathway programs with English for academic purposes. The student can either just begin EAP, or they can get into a program which combines a few courses of EAP and a few courses of business, or a few courses of arts and a few courses of sciences. These are pathway programs which are oftentimes very attractive. It means a student they still need a bit of work on their English. Now we weren't getting a lot of students from India coming into these classes of late. We used to, but once the SDS stream started, we just started to get a lot fewer. But now now that maybe there's a bit of a gap there, that might be an option that students are interested in actually getting started. They can do it online, and they can get started and maybe do a few EAP courses and a few business or arts and sciences courses as well. So something to look at. Our business program is very popular, and the thing that you'll know a lot about is probably know about is the NABU program. And I'll get Yogan to speak to the NABU, not name Yogan, just NABU.
Oh, right. So the NABU is a one-year program, and it's a post-baccalaureate program. So students who are interested in business, already have a bachelor and are interested in learning about the North American aspect of business management. It's a really good program. And then we have the NABU Applied, which is NABU, but it also has a practicum component. So the practicum is actually a mandatory component, and students actually have to work to graduate. So it's a one-year program, and NABU Applied is 16 to 18 months, depending on when they start. And then
Yes.
the name program, Chris can.
We won't go into name at the moment, but NABU is something that has been very popular, and we would definitely like you to, if you're interested in NABU, there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of openings on NABU right at the moment. There is, of course, with the COVID situation, there's a bit of the students can't come and do the practicum at the moment, but we're working on options on how to accomplish that. So we hope that your students are still interested in NABU to join us in that program. The other one is the Business Administration Diploma, a 2-year diploma, which students find very attractive as well. I'm just going to go through these slides. The next one is the School of Tourism Management. I was the dean of this program for 10 years, actually, and still deeply involved in tourism, so it's one that's close to my heart. It is a world-class program, the Tourism Management program at Capilano University. We're one of only 4 institutions, public institutions in British Columbia that offer a tourism management degree. The programs that are particularly attractive to international students are the tourism management for, it's actually a slight name change. It's called the Diploma for Tourism Management International. And this is a 2-year program, and it only has a 5.5 IELTS entry requirement. So unique in that way. The other one is the post-baccalaureate in hotel and tourism. And we actually have 2 name changes here. We have to change those on the slide. And that's a 2-year program that has a 6 IELTS requirement entry. So it also is very, very popular, that program. So that's a 2-year post-baccalaureate diploma. We run actually about 5 intakes of that one every year. Now, I know we're running short on time here. I won't show the video, but we've got lots of good visual material on what it is to be involved in tourism, outdoor recreation, human kinetics, and so on. When students come to Capilano, a lot of them want to live in Surrey. Now, I want to tell you just briefly about that. Surrey's out here, and Vancouver, Capilano University is over here on the edge of the mountains. Surrey's in a large suburban setting. It's a nice place to live, but it's just the problem is that to get to Capilano is often quite time consuming. And so if they come in a car, it's a minimum of 41 minutes. That's not minimum, but oftentimes it takes about 40 to 45 minutes. There's often a lot of congestion on this bridge here. So if they can travel in a car, that's at least 2 hours of their day taken out. If they're traveling on the bus, it's an hour and 26 minutes. And so that's 3 hours, maybe 4 hours of their day taken out just on commuting. If it's if they want to walk, they can do it in 5 hours and 19 minutes. But the point is, it's quite a long way. So we encourage people to come and stay at our residence. We have a CapU residence, which is available. And you can see some images here. It's around, I think, how much, Yogan? It's about $4,500 per year. And we have ability for people to stay in that residence. Applications, I think, are open at the moment. And for this coming year, we're setting it up with quarantine facilities so students can come over, get established in quarantine, and to get started their program if they're able to start their journey here at Capilano. So in terms of admission times, I'm not going to go to English. You can get that information from Dakshita and from Reshma. But most of our programs are 6.5, post-baccalaureate 6.66, and tourism management 5.5, and the EAPs of various levels. Our applications for the fall were completed on May 31st, but we're looking now into spring, and October 15th is our current application deadline for the spring. And we'll be looking at registrations around about the end of, certainly the end of October and the first week of November. We're doing registrations for our fall intake in July. We make sure that students get well prepared for what they need at Capilano University. We have a welcome guide which answers all questions, and of course we're always here at Capilano at the Centre for International Experience to answer questions. And all you need to do is contact nted at capilanou.ca. So we're looking forward to welcoming students back to the campus at some point. We're doing all we can to open up the campus. And but in the meantime, we encourage you to let the students know that they will be able to start online. We'll be monitoring that to see if we can, how much of their credential they can do online. And we're working right now to create more opportunities. We will keep you updated on IRCC regulations and on mobility issues around flights and various other things like that. So thank you for your time this evening. I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll go back to you now, Dakshita.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Yogan, for the wonderful presentation. And thank you all our partner agents for your participation. So there are a few questions that Samritika and Swati have already answered. Still, I would like to, mention few major points that you can, answer live so that everyone is clear about it. So there is a question: if the students, those who have already paid the tuition deposit, take the classes online and they have not got the study permit, what if their study permit will be rejected after, let's say, completing a semester, after, let's say, completing few courses? Will there be a refund or not?
It's a really good question, Dakshita, and I know we're actually discussing this with a lot of other institutions as well. We will not refund students after they've done courses because we want everybody to know that there is a risk of them starting without the study permit. It is an option for them. The alternative is that they defer until they get their study permit. Now, I realize that that's difficult for you and as an agent and for the student, but we're caught in a difficult spot at the moment that we are just waiting for the visa applications to be processed in country, and we all know why. It's a time of upheaval and challenges for people to work on these issues, and the policies are changing all the time as well. However, the government has provided clarity that you can complete up to 50% outside of the country. You do require a study permit to start our courses at Capilano, but we're looking into trying to make that a possibility that you can start, and we're trying to find a way of enabling the student to complete online. I don't have the final answer for that for you yet. I know that doesn't provide you with clarity, but we're looking into what can we do so that the student can complete online. Now, at this point in time, we are asking that the student does have their study permit and that they submit their study permit to us. If they do start the program without a study permit, which they can, they run the risk that they may not be able to complete their program. But we will keep you updated on any changes to that. And what I mean by that is we're looking at our own conditions, our own regulations, internal regulations, so that we can enable the student to complete their program. We don't want them to not complete their program, but we also have rules at the university, and we're just reassessing those rules, the residency rules, because of the situation we're facing right now with COVID-19. I hope that gives the answer that you're looking for. The answer is the student does need they can start, but they run the risk of not being able to complete. But we will keep you updated.
Thank you. So the next question is quite interesting. So as our university is accredited by NWCCU, can the university accept NWAC USA Senior Secondary School Diploma?
Oh, that's a good question. Can we get back to you on that one? I will double check on that admission piece. I don't have the direct answer for that.
Okay, so what we will do is that we'll get the documents from our partner agent and we'll send it to you. Please let us know your decision on the same.
Okay, we'll do that straight away.
Yeah.
I want to mention our turnaround times are very quick. All functions and services at Capilano are clicking away on our international admissions. Our team we check in with our team virtually every day, but they're working very efficiently and getting turnarounds done quickly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris and Yogan, for that. So that's a great news for all our partner agents that our turnaround time is 1 week. So don't forget to file in for your application and your tuition deposits. Our turnaround time is too quick. You will get all the services required from our side. So Chris, I guess all the questions are being answered by Samritika, and yes, there are many related to admissions process and application process. So we'll be sending a detailed email to all our partner agents for that. So before signing off, would you like to say something, Chris and Yogan?
Sure, I'll go to Yogan first.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation and got to learn a little bit more about our university. It's a great university, and I hope you guys stay safe and stay connected with us, and we look forward to seeing some of your students on our campus.
And thanks, Yogan. I'd like to say thank you very much as well for your time. We realize that it's not an easy time right now with the certainty for students. I promise you that we're keeping you up to date as we know what we can. I'll just remind you the three things that are really important to consider. One is, what are the government rules? And that affects a postgraduate work permit. What are the university rules? And that affects the residency requirement for completion. And third, what are the mobility situations? And that relates to flights and entrance restrictions for entering into the country. The last one is really, we don't know any answers to that right at the moment. We don't know if students can get here. We do know that the government has said if they have their visa before March, then that's okay, but that doesn't really apply to current students. So that's a tricky one for us all. It's a dynamic situation. It's all changing, and we're constantly monitoring, and we'll keep you updated. I'd like to say to you, just I wish you all the best. I hope your families and friends are all safe and well. And thank you for your ongoing support of Capilano. We appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in person again, not too far away. Thanks very much for spending time with us this evening.
Thank you. I hope that you have enjoyed our exclusive webinar of Capilano University. And if you have missed anything, don't worry, we will send you a detailed information on your emails. Till then, stay safe and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.